Hello and welcome to SQLite project, multiple choice quiz application with SQLite support. So the new update for multiple choice quiz application will be as the following. So we have to add SQLite database support to our previous version of this application. So I would remind you that last version was with the highest score saved in shared preferences. So please check previous video if you're interested how to build this application. So currently all questions and answers are saved in questionbank.java in the form of an array. So we have to update the projects to move all questions to database, and we have to create a SQLite database schema to have all questions and answers stored in database. So note the highest scores will be saved in shared preferences as we completed before, because it's only one value per element. Finally, our project should work with an undefined number of questions loaded from SQLite. So we, for example, can enter new questions with answers into database outside of Android Studio using DB browser for SQLite. So if you want to find out what is DB browser for SQLite, please find this browser online and install in your computer. So you can basically add unlimited number of records to database and load it back to the application. So after this project will be able to read questions into Android quiz application one by one, and the user answer the quiz and see the progress as before until the last questions. And the rest of the functionality is completely identical to the previous project with shared preferences. User may have choice to complete quiz, you can improve the score and potentially upgrade the higher score. So let's get started. So we start with update of the parts of the previous project. So I borrow from the previous project activity quiz XML, which looks like a form to display the question and the current score. Activity quiz will be connected to the quiz activity as a main activity, and activity highest score XML will be displaying the user score, current score, and the highest score, and this XML will be connected to the highest score activity. Highest score activity pretty much almost the same that I just had in my previous project. So I will add right now new functionality that will be controlling basically only the first activity and plus MySQL database support. So let's create a class question that will be contain description of basic question. So new Java class question. This question class will be describe question for the test. So we'll copy and paste the body of this class. So what do we have? We have 3 private attributes: default constructor, constructor with parameters, and getters and setters for this class. So please note that get choice and the set choice has 2 arguments. Set choice has 2 arguments. So based on I, it's assigned choice, and get choice based on I, return the choice. The next stage will be basically working with database part, probably the part that will be new for this project and the most interesting part. So let's create a new Java class with name myDatabaseHelper, and superclass for this file will be SQLite OpenHelper. So this class actually we discussed in our previous videos about how to use SQLite for Android Studio. So I already explained you how to work with this method implementation in previous video. I would check this method again and would do the same as previously. Right now I'm going to also create constructor for this class. Code generate constructor. And after this we basically have the my database helper content class by default. The next I will populate my database helper class. So first of all I add private variables, database name, database version, database table name, database fields, attributes for the database, the key ID, question, choice 1, 2, 3, 4, and actually the answer. One more element, we have to create a query in one string to create a table for database. As we mentioned, the table will be has a name question bank, and the table has the following attributes as described in this SQL statement. Key ID will be integer primary auto increment, question will be text, and the rest of the attributes will be also as a text type attribute. We have to execute this query in onCreate method using database.execSQL statement, and in this case after this calling onCreate, so the table will be created. In onUpgrade method we drop table if exist, because we don't have any other version of database. We just want to call and create SQLite database again, and database will be recreated. The next method we will add after onUpgrade. We will create a method to add initial question to database. This method is used to add question initially to initial database question. If database is empty, we want to use this method to initialize the database. So this is basically very easy to understand how this method works. It has question parameter, and it's absolutely identical structure from the previous video, how to use database, how to add question, how to add record to the database. So I'm not going to repeat the same in this video. And finally we need one more method for the database open helper class. This will be a little bit bigger method. This method has a name get all question list. So when we extract data from database, we have to say question temporarily in array list of data type question, and then actually display in the GUI interface. So what we have here, we have a list of questions. We have a query to select all information from database table questions. We make database for the readable node. We execute a raw query based on this selection, and we loop in through the all records and adding to the list. So if the c.move to the first is true, we move in and read in question and save them in a question array list until while c move to next is true. And finally we return a question array list as a full list of the questions currently available in database. So we finished with SQLite Open Helper class. So what we did, we created constructor, standard one. So we created a SQLite query to create a database. We call this query in onCreate. We put information on upgrade to drop the table. And two methods, we created a method to add question details in question table and to extract data from database and save it in array list of data type question. Now we're going to create one more class, as we did in previous shared preferences multiple choice video. We'll create new Java class question bank. In this class we basically use previous data created in question Java and my database helper Java. So we declare list of question objects So this is a standard way to create list of objects of type question, and we'll create my database helper. The next we add the getters method for getting information from the question list. So we have a method returns number of question in list get length. We get a method return question from list based on the list index. We get a method return a single multiple choice item from the question based on the list index get choice. And we had a method returns correct answer for the question based on list index. So it's pretty much straightforward stuff. It's not Android based, it's just Java programming. And finally in this method we have to add one more method, init questions method. This method will be actually initialize database in case it's empty. So we get question choices and answers from the database in the list. So in case list is empty, if the list is empty, we have to populate database with some default questions, choices and answers. So this is only the way to make your application works in different situation when you have certainly database already created and populated or not. So after this we get list from database again, and in this case list will contain the question that we just entered to the table. Okay, so it was all class question bank. So I'm not going to repeat it again. It's pretty much straightforward except this portion, and I hope you understand why do we need to initialize database at the very beginning. And the last piece is to take about quiz activity, about main activity. So I will just copy and paste all code. So we have to take care about all important statements. So after all import is done, so we have a project is completed. And we see updates for the quiz activity right now. So it's not a lot of updates. Only one thing is we have to initialize question right now before updating question. Pretty much the same content for the update question. And in onClick method, if the answer is correct, we increase the score. I'll change this if statement to using equals. So in this case, equals checking both strings for equality. So if the one string is equal to another one. Okay, so let's try to run the project and see what's happened. Okay, let's try to answer question as much as we can correctly. When did Google acquire Android? 2005. The score is 1 from 4. What is the name of the build toolkit for Android? It's a Gradle. What widget can replace any use of radio buttons? It's a spinner. And what is a widget in Android application? Is reusable GUI element. So if you check an error, so we have error unable to find explicit activity class. So in our case, activity highest score activity. So have you declared this activity in your Android manifest XML? So it's a very good question. No, we did not declare this. So that's why we have to go right now and declare this activity in Android manifest. This is how the new line should be looks like. Activity Android name, highest score activity, and close tag activity. So sometimes it's happened you have to double check Android manifest file and check your errors when application failed in your logcat message. So let's try again. Maybe this time the second activity will be working. 2005 Gradle spinner reusable. Yeah, so we have a new score, new high score right now, and your score is 4. So when you will repeat question again, you will be redirected to this again. And if next time your score will be not so high, because you cannot beat the score 4 from 4, right? So you simply have your score and the high score. What else we have to do? First of all, I would like to show you how to randomize the questions. So right now questions coming in the strict order 1, 2, 3, 4, and you would like to randomize them. In order to randomize the question, we can do one simple trick. So we have to go back to my database helper class. So we have to find where we form the list. Yeah, this is where we extract data from database and save in array list, and we return the list. So the list has a name question array list that has all questions. So what we will do right now, after we get a list done, we will call collections type and try to shuffle the current list. So what does it mean shuffle the list? Shuffle the list means change position for the element of the array list that we currently have, and after we finish shuffle, we return a question array list that has been shuffled. So let's run project again. Yeah, so we have a question number 2, wonderful. Question number 3, question number 4, question number 1. So yeah, it looks like it works. Let's try to repeat it again. Make sure that we have a random question again. 2, 4, 3, 1. So maybe if you have more questions, you'll be more likely to see different examples. Let's add more questions to database. Basically, our project should work for unlimited number of questions because we're using list array, and you know the property of list array to expand as needed and shrink if information will be deleted from array list. Let's run right now Android device monitor. Android device monitor is already launched, so I will open it for you right now. So we have to find database file right now. So for this purpose we have to remember how to do it from the previous video. I will remind you. We have to open File Explorer, Data, and then you have to find the name of the package. You go back to Application, Quiz Sample.com, MC Choice Quiz app. So we found the content of the project. You see here database folder, you see here share preferences folder. Our interest right now to get this databank and databank DB file and update. So let's highlight this file, press this button, pull a file from the device. And let's save this file somewhere on the, for example, desktop. Then you have to start a database browser for SQLite. Then you have to open database that you just saved on desktop. Question bank DB. Open browse. Browse data will show you only for question in database right now. So how to create a new record? Basically this is a new record button. Insert a new record in database. Let's create, for example, 12 records. And what I will do right now, I will create question 5 and copy this question in the following rows and only change the question number. So for the simplicity, I will create for the multiple choice, I will create answer A, B, C, D, and just make sure that you create some answers as well for the last column. So we'll finish with this data entry, and after this, when I finish populating the records, I have to save information. So in this case, I have to choose write changes. So press this button, write changes. So right now our database will be updated, so we don't need this DB browser for SQLite anymore. So we have to go back to Android device monitor, and right now you have to choose opposite action. You have to push a file onto the device. Select the same file and press open. And if you notice, my timestamp is absolutely identical to the current time. It means my database is updated. Okay, so let's go back and run our project again, and I hope to see right now all 12 questions. Alright, so this time we see the question coming randomly from 12 questions, and question 7 is the first one. That's correct. Question 8D, that's correct. Question 12D, that's correct. Question 9C, wrong. So when did Google acquire Android? This is we know very well. Question 11 will be maybe C. Yeah, that's correct. Question 5 will be A. That's correct. Question 3 is the answer is spinner. Question 6 is answer is B. Question 4 the answer is A. And question A is answer is B. So 2 more questions we can answer and we see results. So your score is 11, the highest score is 11, so we did very good job. So in this case we can repeat question again. And you see the question is coming in the random order right now, and we are not restricted in terms of how many questions to use in this case. So let me know if you like this video. If you need the code for this video, please let me know. I can attach this code to this video. If you have any questions, so please don't hesitate to ask. Thanks a lot.